Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, also respectable educators. My name is Kenzy Allayna, and I'm from SMK Nurul Python Probolinggo. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been more than a year for most of students in Indonesia did virtual meeting with our teachers. But now, we don't talk about school materials. Instead, we just have a small talk about our feeling, also our struggle, about the online program for the past few months. Myself, as a student or santri who live in Islamic boarding school, feel unsatisfied with this education system because the lack of internet, where we don't have free access to the materials. Moreover, me, as the vocational high school student, need more practice of the theories. For these reasons, my teachers also have big struggle to teach us from their own home, and we follow by watching the video. As a result, it's not as effective as practice in a classroom. Many of my friends were crying, and when I saw they cry, I felt like my head was just full of thoughts, because at first, I thought that it was only myself who struggled with online school. But then, we struggle with the amount of schoolwork and school materials, and this became a big challenge for all students around of the world to switch from traditional into the online education. In addition, teachers and all stakeholders also have big role to develop and to make online learning to be effective as possible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, online learning is an innovation that has a major role to change teaching learning process. Also, online learning is a form of learning which is compiled by using electronic and computer system connected with the network to support teaching learning in class. Every single subject provides the digital teaching materials, including books, modules, facilities of the materials of presentations or video, along with assessment. Weekly, students should submit within a certain period and with a various scoring system. In this pandemic era, educational institutions are urged to implement online learning based on their capability. A very long period of this pandemic has created a massive change to the teaching learning process. Most of teachers prefer to use WhatsApp applications to send their teaching materials, also assignments for the students, and students should submit the assignments, also attendance through that application. In an emergency, there's nothing wrong with this application. But if this pandemic lasts long period and requires school to hold a class for more than one semester, can the teacher guarantee that student will get the knowledge? Besides, teachers also will not control all students who have or have not done with the jobs. Also, the school cannot evaluate the teaching learning process. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the characteristics of the learning model in vocational high schools are identical to technical area education, which is simulation problem with the technical problems in the real situations. One of the ways to meet the demand is constructing online learning with learning management system based on Moodle. Moodle is modulator, object-oriented, dynamic learning and environment. These models create an integrative, also an effective learning model to each student in observations, also evaluation. This research used Zaman framework, which was started by determining the scope system encompassing data, process, also computer network configurations, and how to implement it. To implement this process by customizing by customizing model software to create a model-based online learning which can be used by all vocational high schools. Well, ladies and gentlemen, maybe that's all from me. See you in the next time and thanks.